Hello, everyone. My name is Bill, and it's good morning, dear coach. This is my IPB101 Industry Placement Practice Report. During this time, I would like to share with you about my experience in Korea, in Crowley Plaza, Suzhou, and it is the hotel where I have been working for almost half a year. So I want to tell you guys about this. Let me share my screen with you. I want to share what I learned from my industrial placement practice. So the 3 skills that were really important for me to learn during the period of time. So it's about emotional resilience, adaptability, and flexibility. Last one is the organizational awareness. So these 3 skills are the most important things for me to strengthen for now, I think. So during my industry placement, I realized the importance of these 3 skills once entering the hotel I had been chosen. I still haven't realized my role had been changing from a student to a social worker. So in the beginning, I made some mistakes, just like a naive children. And so I focused too much on my own tasks and ignore my colleagues. So I was so focused on what I was doing, and I sometimes forgot to consider what my colleagues were thinking. So I think the reason why I'm so different from others is that maybe I'm so self-centered and I like thinking of others and do not realize the importance of cooperation in the hotel industry. In the hotel, the CH department exists as a whole. So every word, every actions represents the hotel itself, not just myself. The second skill to focus on is the adaptability and the flexibility. So this is the first time officially entering the 5-star hotel. So I'm rigid and inflexible in many aspects of my work. No pressing things about. So last but not least is the emotional awareness. When faced with criticism from my leader and guests, they are not happy with what I have done. So I would feel helpless in the self-blame. So in the face of such emotions, I need to get myself out as soon as possible and face the next word with a more positive attitude. I have to do this. I know this is hard, and so these 3 skills is the most things for me to improve in the future. And right now, I need to start. First, I want to define the academic definition of these 3 skills. So the first one is really important for me. I think it's emotional resilience. So everyone encounters setbacks, right? It is necessary for people to learn how to accept themselves. And when they first step into the society and make some mistakes, an individual will adjust the process from other trauma or other major stresses in the face of adversity from difficult experience. So this is the definition of the emotional resilience. I think it's the most standard definition. So when stepped into the hotel, people when naturally encounter many crises and need to be dealt with, digested urgently. So complaints from guests and judgment from boss need to face by ourselves. So we're never dealing with these things alone at this time. Negative emotions are always inevitably just like surrounded by you. Everywhere what happens that will pop into my mind. So therefore, the author himself believes that emotion resilience is the most important thing. So the second important skill is called organizational awareness. So organizational awareness, in author's opinion, organizational awareness means two things for workers who have just stepped into society. The first is whether the individual is aware of enterprise and tries to make his own behavior conform to the organization's specification. The second is from a more practical point of view, is that whether an individual can realize that he is part of his department, consider all aspects of his department, consider from the perspectives of every member of the team, what other people think, and act on. So the last skill with research on is adaptability and flexibility. Adaptability shows an employee's willingness to adapt, ability to adapt to the change, particularly regarding how and when work gets done. So both these two things refers to the employee's attitude towards change during their work time. When individual comes to a new organization, it is normal to have a series of negative and some anxiety emotions, but how to deal with this unfamiliar and unknown changes has become an educator to measure the soft skill of the employees. So nowadays it is necessary for employees to maintain a sense, a certain degree of flexibility in your workplace. So it becomes more and more important that you can find the flexibility and adaptability of employees in many subtitles in the workplace, such as the way different people deal with in different emergencies and their behaviors can be fully reflected. The next topic I want to talk about is why these three skills are really important in the hospitality industry and for my future career growth. So the hotel industry is first and foremost a service industry, and it pays great attention to the people-oriented philosophy, both in terms of treating customers and employees. So considering others is the code and thinking of hotel industry practitioners. Learn to communicate and cooperate with others become a core value. So from my author's point of view, or from my point of view, these three skills mentioned above are very important to practice people-oriented service concept. In the usual hotel work environment, there are always some differences in the ideas and the thinking of people. The differences will inevitably lead to conflicts and disputes. So what I need to do is that first I learn to control my emotions so that I can face upcoming conflict with a calm attitude and solve difficult problems with a positive and normal appearance. So the more negative emotion quickly control and recover, the efficiency of work will become higher and higher. The second is to have a certain sense of organization. I believe that this is an important step in the transition from students to social people. As a student, I realized I'm no longer an individual. Only by knowing how to consider others can I make this group operate more efficiently. So I can also expand the joy brought by cooperation and dedication. Next one is how have I applied this in my industrial place. Give some example. When I first stepped into the Crown Plaza Hotel for nearly 2 months, I have been in the state of not being too comfortable. The people around me are relatively unfamiliar. Most of them are social people who have worked in the hotel. and their behavior are much more mature than me. They are more proficient in communicating with colleagues around them, and their communication is very efficient and practical. When the next time there is a cooperative relation between departments, the communication they did before no longer be it is hotel. Trying to communicate with people is the best way to learn about these three skills in the early stage of entering the hotel. So during the communication, to also learn asking colleagues at his front desk or hotel. When talking with people, a lot of things can be learned from communication. For example, when two people have a conflict of views, or when you seek a common solution, they can strengthen their sense of integration and presence. When you have a familiar sense of security, you will have the confidence to solve problems, and you can actively seek colleagues to communicate and solve problems. Sometimes not everyone will meet your requirement, and there will always be many police and urgent situations. At this time, I will naturally have emotion. I need to adjust my emotion in a short period of time, try to solve it by myself and seek help from colleagues. This is the best time to show team awareness. So individuals in the organization awareness will be incorporated with others and will be strengthened. It will also become more adaptable to the environment in which it is. It just encounter it again and again. The last one is the result of my diagnostic report. So the result is not very well. It shows that I'm good at personal and critical literacy and weak at theoretical literacy. For many things happening in the hotel, I have a set of my own judgments. Yeah, that is my own feeling. And although sometimes it's easy to be influenced and have emotions, I'm still a relatively important person. I have no deal with many things very carefully. When reporting work to leadership cannot make them satisfied. Yeah, that's all I want to share with you guys. And thank you very much for your listening.